This is Ola, the daughter of Jethro. And I just heard that you black people that was stolen from Africa to America, that you don't know who you are. But you are the children of Yahweh, the children of Israel. And I'm telling you, you have to come back to your homeland, here to Zion, to Jerusalem, because us the Gentiles, we do need you. We need you to come and pray, because you are our saviors. You're the one that was chosen by Yahweh to live in this land, not the Jewish people, it's you. You were stolen from Africa, they deceived you, they told you that you are slaves, but you actually the children of Israel. And it's time just to come back. Come for your people, come back for us, come back for the whole Gentiles, because only you gonna save us. So please come back to Zion.
Alright, that's for everybody upset about the video that I released, saying that the real Jews are black. Alright, the real Jews are black. You need to get over that bullshit, man. Moses was black. Charlton Heston, who played Moses, was white. That was a movie, okay? If Moses was white, how would he pass as the Pharaoh's grandson? That's something you need to think about. It's right there in the book, okay? He would have stood out over there in Egypt, all right? The Pharaoh looked like Eddie Murphy. He did not look like Charlton Heston, okay? Moses would have looked more like Richard Pryor. Y'all need to get it straight, man. History is history.
Shalom, YouTube. I felt compelled to make this video, for lack of a better term, and I'm going to entitle it, I'm Sick of White People. And yes, I'm white. And the reason I'm sick of white people is because no matter how much fact, no matter how much scripture you all are presented with regarding who the Hebrews in the Bible were and who they are in the earth today, which would be the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, the Native Americans, the Aborigines, no matter what you're presented with, you still want to dispute this and maintain your superior, pompous, arrogant attitudes. And it makes me sick. I come across these so-called biblically based websites, and listed for the 12 tribes of Israel are all European countries. What is wrong with you people? You should be ashamed of yourselves. After everything these people have been through at the hand of the white man, slaughtered, ran off their land, sold into bondage, had their heritage stolen from them, would it kill you? Would it kill you to acknowledge the fact that these could be God's chosen elect? Well, evidently so. And unfortunately, in the words of King Solomon, there's nothing new under the sun. As a matter of fact, I'd like to read what King David had to say regarding this. And this is from Psalm 83. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They have a confederate against thee.
400 years is coming now.
Okay, wait a minute.
400 years is coming.
Say that again now.
You guys are the true Israelites, I'm for real.
Okay.
Yes, because you guys were taken from the shore seas of Africa. I'm African, I know, we are taught.
Okay.
This country to be blessed because of Africans here, not the white people here now.
Right.
Yes, because God is protecting you guys. When 400 years come, He's going to take you guys back to where you guys belong.
So you are African?
Yes.
So we're not Africans over here, is what you're saying?
No, you guys are Africans too, but you're the true Israelites.
Okay.
Yes.
Now we ran into Africa. We ran into Africa, but we're not Africans.
Yes, you guys were put on the shores of Africa.
Right.
When these white people came, they took you guys.
How do you know that? How do you know about
we
that?
We are taught that. History in Africa, they teach you from zero.
Wait a minute, they taught you that in Africa?
Yes. Here they don't teach you. They teach you right where they want you guys to know.
So the whole time, our people over here thinking they're Africans, and we're not Africans.
You are true Israelites.
Oh, okay. So y'all know that over there in Africa.
Yes, we do. That's why you see, if I take your style and my style, they're different, but we get the same skin.
Oh, okay. So you come from Ham. Who's your forefather?
South Africa. Yeah.
Ham.
You guys from Judah, right?
Right, I'm from the tribe of Judah.
Yeah.
Right, right. Okay, I appreciate that, man.
No problem.
Okay, bro. All right, come back and talk to us
These are the
sometime.
words. People need to know.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Hey, I guess you heard it yourself. Brother said he's not my brother, but he's a Hamite. He's an African. He just said himself that he knows that we are the Israelites here. They teach us what they want us to know. Hey, with that I say shalom.
For Gaza.
What is it?
Against the Prime Minister of Israel. We are for Gaza.
You're for Gaza, the Gaza Strip?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We are against the state of Israel at all.
Are you said you're for Gaza?
Yes, we are against the state of Israel.
You're against the state of Israel?
Yes, we believe, the Jewish belief is against the state of Israel.
Are you for the real return of the real children of Israel?
We believe that all Israel need to be returned to the Palestinians.
Do you know that the black man in America is Israel? That he's Jews? Do you know that?
Yes. Yes.
You look at my hair, it's not woolly, it's thin and fine and straight, which is pretty much the norm for the so-called white people. Now also in Daniel 7, chapter 7, verse 9, it talks about the Ancient of Days, which is God himself, and there's a description of him there, and it says he had hair white like wool. So when you read these scriptures, it really shows beyond a shadow of a doubt that God and the ancient Hebrews were all black people with hair like wool. Excuse me. Now another thing I want to touch on is in Deuteronomy chapter 28. Now the first 14 verses are talking about God is telling the Israelites, okay, if you keep my commands, this is what I'll do for you. The remaining verses he's telling them, if you don't keep my commands, then this is what will happen. I want to read chapter 28 and verse 68. It says, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you." Now if you were to get a globe and you were to look at where the Hebrew Israelites were at, they would not need a ship to get to Egypt. So God was obviously talking about something else. He wasn't talking about the physical land of Egypt. If you look in Exodus 13:3 and Deuteronomy 20 and verse 2, it refers to Egypt as a house of bondage. Now, I want to show you something, and I know everybody has seen this. I saw it a million times, but never paid any attention and never really thought twice about it. But on the back of the dollar bill, there's a pyramid. Now, pyramids are notorious with Egypt. I mean, you say pyramid, that's automatically what you think of is Egypt. So why would the United States of America put a pyramid on the back of their dollar bill? Now, with the word Egypt meaning house of bondage, God was obviously telling the Israelites, hey, I'm going to put you back into slavery. Now, the only race of people that were brought over on ships and sold as bondmen and bondwomen, which are slaves, are the so-called African Americans.
Who the true people of the Bible are.
The black people.
Say that again?
The black people. And when I first came in the Torah, and there was nothing but black people, and I just got kind of upset finally after, and I says, how come it's just the black people? Where do I belong?
What I'm about to tell you is that the Israelites, the so-called Jews that are living in Israel today, are not the real Israelites. The real Israelites are the black and brown people of the world.
I was in New York for 6 years.
Say we the real ones? Say we the brown
ones, bro.
The real Jews, huh?
The real Hebrews, bro.
Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom, bro. Shalom.
The true Jews, according to the Bible, You can check it in the Bible. You can read Job 30:30 and some other places. They have never been white. They have been people of color. And they have not stopped in Ethiopia. They were in Ethiopia, Sudan, and they have settled in West Africa. From West Africa, they have been taken as slaves to America. Brothers and sisters, blacks of America, it's you. You are the true Hebrews. You are the true Hebrews from the Bible.
And I'd like to now bring up another interesting place that you're finding descendants of the Israelites, but may not necessarily be from the 10 tribes, but will also play a role. And it shouldn't be overlooked. It's a very serious scenario. Africa has perhaps hundreds of millions of people with this identity right now of being from the people of Israel. Does that mean they were from the 10 tribes? Likely not. We were taught by the historians and within our own traditions that when the Romans conquered Judea, a few hundred years after that the tribes of Israel went into exile, perhaps millions of Judeans were sold into slavery, into Africa, into Rome, deep into Africa. And if you look now, you're seeing people who are most likely the descendants of those slaves who kept true. One of them wrote letters to Israel when it became a state. And they said, we're Israelites out in Africa. You know, everyone laughed at them and they said, African Israelites, these people are just trying to jump on the first world country bandwagon. They're living in a third world country, they got nothing. We're coming to Israel, we got innovation, technology. So they're trying to get on this train because there's such a thing called the right of return. All descendants of the Jewish people from around the world are able to move to Israel. So they said we are also. And a few people took it serious and went out there and started studying them, learned about their culture there, and did DNA testing on them. And he showed not only do they share Semitic genes from people who were in Yemen and back to the Middle East, these gentlemen, a large percent of them, have the Y chromosome to be Kohanim, to be priests. Now, if anyone who doesn't know, a priest is a specific family clan of the nation of Israel who come from Aaron, the brother of Moses, who was the first priest. And anyone descended from Aaron has the status title priest. And we found that these men in this village in South Africa called Lemba, L-E-M-B-A, carry this genetic marker. They share the same exact DNA marker. That's mind-blowing. So everyone kind of got humbled a little bit who laughed at them and said, now what? Now what do we do about this? This could have tremendous implications. Another area in Africa you have something big happening is in Nigeria. You have the Igbo people, or Igbo, pronounced either way. There's 40 million of them. Also Christians, like I spoke about before, how that could happen to the children of Israel very easily. But also a lot of them are now coming out and converting back or adopting the rules of the Torah without all the paganism that they've been practicing for hundreds of years. There's been books written about it from scholars in Nigeria, from scholars from the Jewish people. And where it gets interesting is, in America, there was a slave trade. And a lot of the slaves, a very high percentage of them, came from Western Nigerian ports. And in America today, you see a very large movement of African Americans who say that they're the real chosen people, that they're the children of Israel, they're the Judeans. You know, so what are they just trying to create an identity for themselves because they were slaves, or is there really something here? And the answer is most likely there is something there. And most likely maybe that they were the original Israelites, and maybe that the Jewish people today who are white, Caucasian people came in a little bit later on. We know they were sold into slavery. We know now that they're fulfilling prophecies by saying, we're coming back.